What a beautiful day it is here in the nation's capital of Canada, Ottawa, Ontario, as Penn FC comes into town to face off against Ottawa Fury FC at TD Place Stadium here at Gordon Smith alongside myself, Tyler McDonald. Thank you so much for joining us for today's action. And what an important game it is for both these teams, Gord. Penn FC just out of the playoffs right now. Ottawa Fury FC 4 points behind them.
Well, you keep talking about massive games, and this is a massive game for the Ottawa Fury. They can ill afford to fall 7 points behind Penn FC in that race for the 8th and final playoff spot here in 2018.
A player to watch out for Penn FC is going to be Lucky Cassano, the Fury killer. He's been well known for this time with the New York Cosmos.
He really has been scoring important goals left, right and centre against the Fury. He'll be one that the back four, anywhere he is in the front line, will have to be very, very careful of here this afternoon.
And for Ottawa Fury FC, a player who's been playing very well in the first half of this season, Kevin Oliveira.
I think he's been one of the better players over the course of the first half. His link-up play today between the midfield and the attacking three will be crucial this afternoon in determining the destination of these three very, very important points today.
Well, both teams know how important this game is. It sure is to be a very exciting one here in Ottawa. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, Graham Ivory will be alongside JT Jackie back on the call. This is Ottawa Fury FC Soccer.
Did you know the Brick is 100% proudly Canadian? We employ over 5,000 Canadians, and nobody knows more about furnishing Canadian homes at the guaranteed lowest price than us. Saving you more. It's not just a slogan. Saving you more is our obsession.
Gabriel Pizza, proud supporter of local sports. Gabriel Pizza, home of the bigger, better pizza. 310-7777 or GabrielPizza.com.
What do you live for? Is it for your crew? For overcoming obstacles? Live for what you want. So what do you live for?
Hey, Impreza. What's new?
Well, I've got this available reverse automatic braking feature.
Oh.
When I reverse, I can automatically brake if I'm about to hit something.
All I do is beep.
Subaru
Beep.
Impreza.
Beep. Ouch.
And welcome back inside TD Place Stadium. AJ Jakubek alongside Graham Ivory as we get set for this one today between Ottawa Fury FC and Penn FC. And for Ottawa, Graham, it's pretty simple. A big game here. They're 6 points out of a playoff spot. They have to find a way to generate some offense. Last right now in USL with just 15 goals in 17 games.
Yeah, look, today marks the start of the second half of the USL season for Ottawa Fury FC, and I think they've shored everything up defensively in that first half. They feel very comfortable inside their own half, but certainly in attack is where they need to right the ship. Great to have Steven DeSantos back in the lineup tonight. He was their leading scorer last year. They need him to get going in the second half. Unfortunately, on the other side of things, Carl Haworth not available due to injuries, so missing out there in attack.
Let's have a look at the starting 11 for both sides, and it's brought to you by Ottawa's Bigger, Better Pizza, Gabriel Pizza, 310-7777. Well, we've got some familiar names here for Penn FC. Starting in goal, the man who helped lead Ottawa to fall season championship in 2015 in the NASL, Romuald Pézère, with a back four of Harry Hawkins, Kenneth Trebet, Jake Bond, and Marco Franco. In midfield, Calvin Resend, Pedro Galvao, Richard Menivar, and another ex-Fury player in Kyle Venter. And there's another ex-Fury player, A 3 in the starting lineup with Brazilian Paulo Jr. up top with a man who's been very dangerous both with Tampa Bay and the New York Cosmos against Ottawa, and that's Lucky Kosana. Ottawa Fury FC with a 4-3-3. Maxime Crépeau, 8 clean sheets on the season, and he's been Ottawa's best player in the first half of 2018. Onwo Obasi, Thomas Mayer-Giguère, Nana Adekora, and Eddie Edward at the back. In midfield, you've got Kevin Oliveira, Chris Manella, and Jamar Dixon. Adonai Jareed up top, along with Steven DeSantos and Tony Taylor. And we will see Daniel Hebert on the bench today, added from FC Cincinnati. He's got all sorts of experience. He played in Israel. He played in Cyprus. He's played for Canada at the senior level. What do you think Hebert brings?
Well, it gives another look and another option and more depth to Ottawa's offense. And, of course, coming over from FC Cincinnati, so a team that is prolific with their offense so far this season, tops in the USL Eastern Conference. Certainly some added punch to Nikola Popovic's offense, and certainly to the project in terms of having a lot more Canadians in that starting or available in the roster. Another scorcher here at TD Place this afternoon. It was a tough one last Sunday, that 1-0 loss at the hands of the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, who have quietly moved their way up the USL Eastern Conference standings in second spot behind FC Cincinnati, and surprisingly have the fewest losses in the Eastern Conference so far this season, with just the one.
Well, we're underway here at TD Place. Penn FC moving right to left in this first half, and they're all white kits. Ottawa Fury FC moving left to right in this first half with their home black and red kits, black shorts, and black socks. Referee today is David Barry. His assistants Chantal Boudreau and Andre Pickler. Matt Suare is the fourth official. As Penn FC in possession here. It's Franco, moves it into the middle. Broken up by Jamar Dixon, and Obasi will launch this forward towards Adonai Jareed. Headed back, and Penn FC gains control here. And here comes the ex-Fury player Kyle Venter moving it across.
It's good to see Venter back healthy after missing all of the 2016 season with the club due to injury, and then did have a couple knocks last season with the club, and a couple other former Fury players, and Tom Heineman and Mauro Eustáquio missing today's match due to injury. Eustáquio out with a pretty significant knee injury that he's currently rehabbing, so likely done for the year for them, and Heineman also out injured from today's match.
Important intervention there from Thomas Mayer-Giguère as Oliveira tries to spring DeSantos. Penn FC able to get it back briefly, but here comes Steven DeSantos, who's clearly fouled. Referee says play on, though. DeSantos gets up and moves it out wide on the right. Here's Eddie Edward back to Jamar Dixon. Now to Nana Adekora. Third minute 0-0. You know Nana Adekora is going to be fired up for Wednesday, an ex-Toronto FC player, an opportunity to face them in the Canadian Championship. Here's Adonai Jareed, lays it off. Oliveira the shot, and wasn't able to put it on target. This will go out for a Penn FC throw. Let's go to our three keys to an Ottawa victory.
Three keys to an Ottawa win this afternoon, AJ. Key number one, the return of Steven DeSantos. Led the team in scoring last year, has 3 already prior to missing a significant period of time due to injury, and certainly throughout the course of his career known to really find the back of the net in that second half of a season, and they need him to find the back of the net here this afternoon. Key number two, controlling the tempo of the game. Head coach Nikola Popovic certainly made it clear that last week, tough conditions in the sweltering heat of the 1 o'clock start. Well, no different here this afternoon. And with the pace that Penn FC has up front in Lucky Kosana and Paulo Jr., Ottawa will certainly want to manage the tempo of the match this afternoon. And key number three, Oliveira must lead. And Kevin Oliveira, certainly the most dynamic player in the midfield for Ottawa, can provide them a spark on offense, and certainly a very tenacious player. And not that he hasn't done well so far but they just need a little bit more from the guy who can be a game changer for this Ottawa side.
You mentioned the heat, 28 degrees at kickoff here at TD Place. As Ottawa in possession in midfield, it's Dixon back to Mayer-Giguère. Wide left Obasi, now to Thomas Mayer-Giguère. Here's Manella for Adekora. Thomas Mayer-Giguère with space to run to the halfway line. Plays it over the top on the left for Obasi. 5th minute, 0-0. Obasi. Far touch line now to Oliveira. Back to Mayer-Giguère. Adekora. Mayer-Giguère. Manella for Mayer-Giguère. If you're looking at why this is such a crucial game here today for Ottawa, right now 21 points in 17 matches. They are 6 back of the teams occupying 7th and 8th. The last 2 playoff spots in the East spots in Nashville and Charlotte. And Penn FC sits 9th. They're 1 place out of a playoff spot, 2 back of Nashville and Charlotte, and 4 up on Ottawa. So this, for so many reasons, a crucial match. The unofficial start to the second half of the season here for Ottawa today.
And Ottawa having played 2 fewer games than the Charlotte Independents, so a great opportunity to make up room here this afternoon. And you also mentioned chasing down Nashville. Well, Ottawa will be playing Nashville, Louisville, Tampa Bay Rowdies in their upcoming games, not to mention this coming Wednesday, first leg of the semifinals of the Canadian Championship at TD Place against Toronto FC. The return leg coming the following Wednesday at BMO Field in Toronto. So a busy stretch of games for Ottawa Fury FC, and lots of importance in both areas, because you know that they would love to be that first non-MLS club side to oust an MLS club side in the Canadian Championship. And as it is right now for Toronto FC, you could argue ripe for the picking with a rather poor performance to date in the MLS season after winning it all last year.
Yeah, look forward to that on Wednesday, and then next Wednesday in Toronto at BMO Field. Curious to see what strength the side will look from Toronto FC, as they are desperate to get back into a playoff position. Ottawa in possession here, and no, they're calling a free kick the other way. Taken quickly, and Penn FC work this forward to Kyle Venter. Now it's Menivar. Menivar, the El Salvador international with 41 caps to his name. All sorts of experience in the NASL with San Antonio, Tampa Bay, Rio OKC, New York Cosmos. As Fury making a run down the right-hand side. That's Tony Taylor, a Panama international, and now he's called for a foul just after he was dispossessed here in the 8th minute, 0-0.
Yeah, nothing malicious there. That was just his momentum carrying him forward. It was a good run down that right side by Taylor, and then clips into Ken Tribbett. Hard foul on that left knee. Tribbett wearing the captain's armband for Penn FC today, and with Carl Howarth out injured, Jamar Dixon wearing the armband for Ottawa.
Yeah, tough loss for Ottawa to lose their captain, especially in light of their recent goal-scoring troubles. This is played over the top here. Good work by Obasi to fend off Bond. Venter plays it back, and Dos Santos just couldn't get to it before it went to the keeper, Pezer. Headed by Taylor, looking to get to Dos Santos, and a free kick is called Penn FC's way, formerly the Harrisburg City Islanders.
Yeah, and a big, not only did this club rebrand, playing out of a new stadium now, new logo, new name, but really a completely different roster. Only 4 returning players from their 2017 squad, 2 of them in their 18 today, one of which is in the starting 11, and that's Jake Bond. But a lot of new faces in the Penn FC organization, including their head coach, Raul Voss.
Here's Ottawa on the counter here as Oliveira plays it out wide on the right for Taylor. Tony Taylor moving to the middle of the park, gets it on the left side, 25 yards out. Adonijah Reed, now edge of the penalty area. Reed just had the ball go away from him, and Penn FC back in possession. Good interception there by Obasi to get it back for Ottawa. Some fancy footwork, and he plays it back inside the Ottawa half. Mayor Giguère now to Nana Atakora. Across the back 4, wide right, it's Eddie Edward, just short of the halfway line. As Ottawa works it across on the left now. Mayor Giguère. Ahead for Oliveira, he'll play it back to Atakora. I do miss the palm tree on the Harrisburg City Islanders logo. I had no problem with the Islanders name. They did play on an island in Harrisburg, but I especially did love the palm tree. And I miss it. Throw here in the 11th minute, 0-0 for Ottawa.
So just getting back to the point of how the roster's been made up, 3 players from the New York Cosmos alone in their starting 11 today. Menjivar, Hawkins, and Kasana. And Franco spent last year with Indy 11, as did Paulo Jr.
Obasi, quick little 1-2 with Dos Santos just outside the 18-yard box, and Ottawa's able to get it back after a clearance. Manella now to Adonijah Reed, but too many white shirts as he was dribbling towards the penalty area. And it comes back to Nana Atakora off his chest, and he's fouled. Free kick for Ottawa just inside their own half as we get set to enter the 12th minute here at TD Place, 0-0. Let's head down pitch side, and here's our first update of the match from Tyler McDonald.
Thank you very much, AJ. And we've seen already a couple times now today Adonijah Reed have a look going one-on-one, and Coach Nikola Popovic really encouraging Adonijah to do that and to take the dribble and try to make a move himself one-on-one on the Penn FC defender. So we'll see that continue throughout the match here tonight. Back to you guys.
Tony Taylor, far side of the pitch, or near side of the pitch, gets this through, and good run here. Taylor trying to get it into Adonijah Reed, and that was an important clearance by the right back, Marco Franco, coming across, and he sends it out. It deflects off an Ottawa player. It'll be a Penn FC throw.
Yeah, good ball movement down that right side. Great work by Eddie Edward to get it in to Tony Taylor. Laid it off nicely, but well read by Marco Franco to come across and thwart the Ottawa opportunity in the penalty area.
Reminder that Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit SelectSportAmerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50.
And it's those diagonal runs that we just saw from Taylor slicing in, and then, of course, Adonijah Reed coming from the middle over to that right side that make it very difficult to defend against. And as long as Ottawa continues to do that here this afternoon, they'll have ample opportunity to beat the former Fury goalkeeper and Romuald Pézère.
Here's Obasi now. Going one-on-one, goes down through a Bond challenge. Again, the referee says play on as Adonijah Reed gets it to Jamar Dixon. Now on the right side, Eddie Edward for Tony Taylor. Near touchline. Taylor into the middle for Manella. Wide left. On to Obasi. Obasi, great work. Just couldn't get to the byline here. Now with 2 defenders on him. And he'll play it back for Chris Manella. Into the middle, and Oliveira plays it back to Mayor Giguère. Good comfortable start here though from Ottawa. 14th minute 0-0, and they've certainly been on the front foot.
Yeah, well, in the heat of the day, and then when you look at your opposition and some of their capabilities in attack, again, controlling the tempo and pace of this game, I think vital to their success. And so far, done good work moving that ball, transitioning into Penn's half. And then when you look at how they've maneuvered in that attacking third, some good 1v1 battles, Obasi getting forward, and then, of course, Adonijah Reed doing what he does best. And because he has that ability to move so quickly with the ball so close to his feet, not only does he create things in the penalty area for Ottawa, but also has that opportunity to draw fouls when players lunge in when he's made that quick jolt one way or the other.
Penn FC, one of the hotter teams in USL in the last 7 matches, 4 wins and 2 draws. It was a 6-game unbeaten run for them until they ran into the Richmond Kickers at home on Monday. And Richmond pulled the 2-1 upset. Reminder that the USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league. Follow at USL on Twitter. 0-0, 15th minute. Penn FC in possession here. They'll work it back to the keeper, Pézère. Here's Venter. He moves it across and comes up towards Resend. Hawkins for Venter. Ball given away. Stepping up was Jamar Dixon to win it. Now Manella. So we're through a quarter of an hour, and Ottawa draws a free kick here, 0-0. Just short of their halfway line. As Ottawa takes it quickly, plays it across the back. Adekora. Outside the penalty area for the keeper, Crépeau. Certainly hasn't been very busy in this one so far. Maher Jaguer for Maxime Crépeau. Now Adekora. There's a long ball over the top towards Taylor, headed away. Played high into the air. And Penn FC able to come away with it briefly, although Manella wins it back. And here's Oliveira. Now to Tony Taylor. Plays it wide right to Eddie Edward. Edward with the cross, and it's punched away. Comes to Adonijah Reed, the shot. Oh, he played it off the near upright. Off the post from Adonijah Reed. Ottawa does get a corner, but what an opportunity there for Ottawa to take the lead in the 17th minute.
Well, great work to get the ball out to the right side, and then a great delivery in from Eddie Edward. Pézère comes out for the punch to get away the opportunity from Steven Dos Santos, and then the volley from Adonijah Reed off the goal post. 1 inch the other way, and Ottawa would be ahead 1-0. We'll see if they can convert here on the set piece.
It'll be a right-footed in-swinging corner here towards the back post where Dos Santos is. Good ball from Oliveira, and Ottawa's able to win a throw. Certainly a dangerous ball. Cleared away by Penn FC. And it looks like they'll attempt a long throw here through Eddie Edward. But certainly encouraging stuff early on from the home side, looking to open the scoring against Penn FC. No long throw from Edward. He does get it in for Adekora. Halfway line, it's Maher Jaguer. Now Adekora. Thomas Maher Jaguer. Head for Oliveira, now to Obasi. Back to Maher Jaguer. Here's Manella, and unfortunately unable to link up here with Oliveira. Ottawa gives up possession, and a Penn FC throw will ensue here in the 19th minute, 0-0. Battle for possession here, and Ottawa wins a free kick through Obasi. It's Thomas Maher Jaguer Plays it across for his partner in central defense, Nana Atakora. One of 7 Canadian starters in this starting 11 today for Ottawa as Mayer Giguère plays it wide left off of Bond. It'll be an Ottawa throw. Bassi gets it in for Adonai Jareen. Trying to turn. Now the captain Dixon. Charging forward is Eddie Edward. Wide right for Tony Taylor. Comes back to Edward, near touchline, and they'll get it to Atakora halfway line. Atakora for Mayer Giguère. Ahead to Oliveira. Ball over the top, and Taylor making a run, but it gets to the keeper off his line was Pézère, and they'll prevent any danger in the 20th minute, 0-0, but Ottawa's had the lion's share of possession and all the opportunities so far.
Yeah, another good opportunity there, but the only catch is when you have a goalkeeper like Romuald Pézère, the timing of those deliveries into the penalty area has to really match the pace that the player's running onto, and that one just a little bit ahead of Tony Taylor, and we remember how aggressive a goalkeeper Pézère is.
As Penn FC looks to counter, they get into the penalty area, and a shot goes wide there. It was set up with a trivet run, and it was Paolo Jr. with the shot. Hasn't had many touches up top so far for this Penn FC side, the ex-Fury player. Scored an absolutely brilliant goal set up from Onwo Bassi 2 years ago in the Canadian Championship against the Vancouver Whitecaps, as we look forward to the semi-final match on Wednesday against Toronto FC. But Paolo Jr. unable to hit the target there, and remains 0-0 here in the 21st minute. Let's go down for another pitch side update. Here's Tyler McDonald.
Thanks, AJ, and some news coming from the Penn FC bench and head coach Raul Voss, and the most consistent team talk he's really been putting out there to his players is the back four of Penn FC for them to move together as a group and shift when defending. It needs the four of them to be moving together, staying in a straight line. It's a very straight back four for Penn FC that I've been noticing so far in the first 20 or so minutes. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Tyler. Reminder, you can watch highlights from every game of the 2018 season and stay up to date with news across the league is USL's official Facebook page. It's facebook.com/USL Soccer. I'm liking the new reads, mixing it up a little bit at USL headquarters.
Got to keep you on your toes, AJ.
22nd minute, 0-0. Fury in possession, halfway line. Thomas Mayer Giguère. Now to Nana Atakora. On the right side, Tony Taylor, 30 yards from goal. Now to DeSantos, trying to get it wide right for Eddie Edward, but it's intercepted by Galvao, and it goes out now for an Ottawa throw. USL welcomed its newest member on Wednesday with Hartford Athletic. It's the 6th new club set to join for 2019. For more information on the new club, visit hartfordathletic.com, and that's great news for USL.
High time for Hartford, and feel great for all the fans that have been pushing for a team there. I think we've heard them talked about for, well, as long as we've had a pro team here in Ottawa. Although they should have called them the Whalers.
Well, no, you can't call them the Whalers, but here's what you can do.
Use the brass bonanza?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Whenever they come out onto the pitch and after goals, brass bonanza.
Oh, please. Please do.
Fury get it back to the keeper, Crépeau, here in the 24th minute, 0-0. And Reed is clearly fouled, and this will be a Fury free kick just inside the Penn FC half.
Well, the other fact is that the offside, I think the offside flag went up.
Okay, well,
on the far side. So
no foul.
despite the fact that he was pushed from behind there, landed awkwardly on that right arm.
So Penn FC in possession here. It's Hawkins. Now to Venter. Moves this forward to Menivar, and now it comes all the way back to the keeper, Pézère. High into the air, Bond heads it, and free kick given to Penn FC as he's fouled just inside the Ottawa half. Bumped there by Chris Manella.
Yeah, I really liked his game since kind of returning into that starting role in the Ottawa midfield. Kind of matches that same level of intensity that you have from Kevin Oliveira, and has really shored things up in the position he holds. And then I think in that midfield, Jamar Dixon, you just get that consistent effort from him night in and night out.
NFC get it back to their keeper, Pézère. Plays it towards Bond. Cassano with a run. He can be so dangerous, but Adekora with him step for step, and it comes back to the Ottawa keeper, Crépeau. Important defending there from the veteran Nana Adekora.
Well, on Monday nights on our Corner Kicks broadcast, AJ, we were talking about Maxime Crépeau and Kevin Oliveira as really the two players that have shone for Ottawa in the first half of the season, and you wonder where would you be without the sound goalkeeping. You talked about the 8 shutouts that he's had so far this year, and Crépeau just rock solid in goal for Ottawa and controlling that back line. And then Kevin Oliveira, just how dynamic of an attacking player and the energy he brings through Ottawa's midfield. 2 players that are going to be key to their success now into this second half of the USL season.
Voting is now open for the 2018 Fans Choice Mid-Season Awards, as you get to decide which player has stood out from the pack so far this season. Cast your vote in the 5 award categories. It's at uslsoccer.com. 0-0, 26th minute. Penn FC attacking right to left here in their all-white kits. And Fury defending with their black and red home kits and the black shorts and black socks. Penn FC work it out wide right to Franco. Now it's Bond looking to get the cross in, headed away by Thomas Mayer-Jaguar. Franco plays it forward again, but not beyond Obasi. At the halfway line to Santos, called for a foul, free kick, Penn FC.
I think it actually looked worse than it was, and it was just the way that Tribbett went down, but not sure there was as much in that as what the official may have saw. 2 big bodies colliding in a battle for the ball.
Here's Harry Hawkins. A little too much on that ball for Franco. It goes out for an Ottawa throw. If you want the key talking points from across the USL every week, tune into the Hat Trick with Kelsey Steele. It's every Monday at the USL's Instagram account to stay in the know on what's going on around the league. Nil-nil, 28th minute here at TD Place. It's Penn FC in possession through Menivar. Plays this ahead on the left-hand side. Paulo Junior looking to feed Bond, and coming off his line and getting a touch on that. And now sending it forward to the halfway line and beyond is Maxime Crépeau. Important touch there from the Ottawa keeper. Good ball from Paulo Junior. Here's Lucky Kosana down the right side. Holds it before laying it off to Marco Franco. His ball caroms off Obasian out for a Penn FC throw, as Penn FC starting to get into this match a little bit more.
Great play by Maxime Crépeau on that last opportunity, matching what we saw from Romuald Pézère on that earlier chance for Ottawa.
Dixon fouled, and so Jamar Dixon, deep inside the Ottawa half, draws a free kick for Ottawa. It's another, they had a well-deserved 6-day break in between matches, but it all picks up again with Wednesday, the home match in the Canadian Championship against Toronto FC, and then Nashville coming here for another league match on Saturday night. Another Wednesday match, this time in Toronto against TFC in the Canadian Championship, and then back here on successive weekends against Louisville City FC and the Tampa Bay Rowdies. And I think it's safe to say, with Ottawa 6 points out of a playoff spot, the season will likely be defined, or could be defined, by what we see in those matches, both in terms of can they pull the big shock in the Canadian Championship, and B, can they find a way to get back into this postseason race.
Yeah, well, when you look at this run of home games, AJ, that takes them through really to the 18th of August. There is one road match on the 10th of August in Nashville, but a good string of home games, and this is where they really have to make up that point differential and get themselves back into the playoff conversation. Not to say that they aren't still in that run with only 6 points back and 2 games in hand on 8th place Charlotte. But they need to make the points at home. That is the big thing for them right now. 3 wins, 3 losses, 2 draws in their first 8 games at TD Place this season.
Mandatory water break with the heat here at TD Place today. Mentioned again, it's 28 degrees in Ottawa. Supposed to go up to 30 today, 32 tomorrow, 33 on Monday. So I guess better than the alternative as the teams take a water break in the 31st minute, 0-0. Let's head it down to Tyler McDonald, pitch side.
Thanks very much, AJ. Hope you're having your water up there as well, staying cool in the nice press box that you guys are in. But down here, head coach Nikola Popovic really enjoying how his team is pressuring the back four of Penn FC. And I talked about earlier in the 20th minute or so how Penn FC, they want their back four to move together as a foursome. Well, Fury FC are really trying to break that and to put that pressure in terms of causing turnovers. And that's what we saw when they were going 6 straight unbeaten, is that they were using that to their advantage and using it very well and creating the breaks and creating the turnovers off of that. And that's what they're trying to get back to here, as you can tell, in the first little bit of this game. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Tyler. 82 degrees, by the way, for our American viewers and listeners today.
Would love to have a thermostat down on the pitch level, because, when I got here just before noon today and walking across that pitch, I know how hot that was, and then kind of standing in the volume, looking across the field and the haze that was coming off that pitch, you can imagine it's got to be, 6, 7, 8 degrees hotter perhaps down on that pitch.
That's why Tyler's all comfortable in his golf shirt today.
Even though it's black, just sucking up the heat down there.
Well, there's various theories on black, though. Loose black is fine. Tight black is not good. Fury in possession as we're underway again. 33rd minute, 0-0. Adekura towards DeSantos, flicks it on, and Reed couldn't get to that second ball. Now here's Dixon for Adonai Jareed. 30 yards out, and good work knocking him off the ball by Galvao. And here comes Bond down the right. Plays it off, Obasian out for a throw. towards Kasana. And this will go out for an Ottawa throw. Obasi. To Santos, and now it's Mayer Jaguar playing it to the halfway line, cut off by Hawkins. Franco down the right. Goes up with Adonai Jareed, and this is going out for another Penn FC throw in the 35th minute, 0-0. Jamar Dixon wins it back for Ottawa and comes back to the keeper, Crépeau.
Yeah, key challenge there by Tribbett as Dixon was looking up as Taylor was trying to make that run from the right side, breaking across the middle.
Bond wins a header. Comes back though, and here's Tony Taylor winning it. Taylor moves it wide left, and it was in behind Adonai Jareed and trying to regain control of it. He lost his balance, and it'll be a Penn FC throw, so just not firing on all cylinders there. Another Penn FC throw, 35 minutes gone, 0-0. Croatia versus France tomorrow. And TSN 1200 will have that for you. What do you think of Croatia's chances tomorrow? Can they get it done, having played 360 minutes of soccer in 11 days? Opportunity from just outside the penalty area, and it took a deflection off that shot from 20 yards out. And so it will be a corner for Penn FC. As it looked like Crépeau got a piece of it.
Yeah, another great run by Paulo Jr. cutting in onto that right foot. And this time he found the target, and Crépeau able to get the tips to it and knock it over for a corner.
So Menivar, far corner flag. We'll get your thoughts on Croatia in a moment. Right-footed outswinger delivers, and that's met immediately and cleared. Good work from Tony Taylor. All right, can Croatia pull off the upset in spite of their 3 straight games in extra time?
Look, they've done it this far, and against against many doubters, especially when you're playing that volume of minutes. And they're the ones who, really from the second half onwards in that semifinal, took it to England, and it's because their engine room just didn't stop, and that engine room is that midfield led by Luka Modric. And if they come out on top, it's because he's the one running that game for them up against a very tough France side who they have to find an answer for Mbappe.
Here's a deflection, and right off his line comes Crépeau to rob Bond. Wow, what an opportunity there as the deflection put Bond on goal. And that was quick thinking and great instincts from Crépeau to come off his line as Ottawa looks to counter here, but the ball from Oliveira, not enough on it to get it out wide for Tony Taylor, and all the action picking up in a hurry here.
Great goalkeeping by Crépeau to immediately come off his line when he saw things coming as they were, and a great save off of Bond, and then Oliveira with a great cutting run through the midfield, but unfortunately his pass not enough oomph on it to find Tony Taylor.
Back to Modric, win or lose tomorrow. I think he should win the Golden Ball Player of the Tournament. He's been that good.
Well, when you think of the two teams in the final, you're right. He's the one. When you look at what they have. That being said, you got to wait and see how that game is played, because there certainly has been some great performances from some players from France, Griezmann, Mbappe. Really, the key to the game for Croatia is don't let Griezmann score, because the crazy statistic around him is that they've never lost a game when Griezmann has scored for France. 18 wins, 2 draws, no losses, lifetime.
Well, what if he
scores? That's a damning statistic.
What if he scores and they go to penalties? It still ends in officially that would end in a draw. That's how it works on the official scoreboard. So there is that. And they're pretty good on penalties, as we've seen.
Yes.
Here's Oliveira back to Eddie Edward, just outside the Ottawa penalty area. Sends it into the Penn FC half, and Hawkins moves it across for Kyle Venter, who heads it back to his keeper, Romuald Pézère. Anyway, should be a great match tomorrow. And of course, A, you can listen to it on TSN 1200. B, you can come watch here at TD Place as well. So all sorts of different ways to follow tomorrow's World Cup final. As Obasi with an interception, good run, and he's fouled dead center, about 40 yards out. So opportunity here with this free kick for Ottawa.
I don't know why Tribbett was protesting the yellow. Great run by Obasi, and had he been by Tribbett, then he would have been free to either distribute to his right or have a chance on goal.
Ottawa tried to move up about 3 yards from where the foul was. And now the referee pushes them back 5 yards, so 2 yards beyond where they should have been, as the free kick comes into the penalty area and it's headed clear from Harry Hawkins. This will be an Ottawa throw. 40 minutes gone, 0-0.
Well, we're still 5 minutes from half, but I think so far head coach Nikola Popovic has to be pleased with how his team has attacked this game, and certainly in the last 5-6 minutes, Crépeau has had to come up big for Ottawa, but prior to that, no real opportunities surrendered inside their own half, and it had been all Ottawa with the opportunities going forward.
Penn FC throw now.
And I certainly think you have to probably give Steven DeSantos a game or two to get back in sync with everything, given the time that he's missed due to injury.
So Penn FC building up from the back as they get it to Kyle Venter. Here's Menivar. Venter. Tribbett. For Hawkins, back to Tribbett. Venter trying to pick out Bond, and this is going to go out. No, it won't go out. Lost some steam, and Obasi will look to keep it away from Bond here. Before playing it to Crépeau. Adonijah Reed now. Here's Manella. His ball right up the middle. Taylor was out wide on the right, and it comes right to the keeper, Pézère, who pushes forward for Penn FC.
Well, right idea from Chris Manella, but that ball had to be pushed out much further to the right-hand side to find Tony Taylor, who again at times in this game has been left with acres of space and not marked all that closely. And you can see that there's been many times where Ottawa really trying to stretch this game out.
Ooh, here's a run from Lucky Kosana. Kosana into the penalty area, and good work there from Jamar Dixon to win it back, and Dixon gets it for Adakora. His ball takes a deflection. It comes back to Kosana. Kosana trying to attempt the back heel, but it doesn't come off, and Ottawa in this frantic play looks to counter, but they do gain possession through Oliveira. Now Manella, and too many white shirts as he loses possession, And back comes Menivar right up the middle, looking for Kusana. Lucky Kusana, and right off his line is Crépeau to make a save off of Lucky Kusana. And it remains 0-0 in the 44th minute. Now this frantic pace continues as Ottawa looks to counter. And it's Tony Taylor with a run into the Penn FC half. Now Oliveira out wide on the left. Adonai Jareed, edge of the penalty area, and trying to go one-on-one. He couldn't get beyond Hawkins, although Ottawa regains possession. Sorry, that was Franco, not Hawkins, with the important tackle on Adonai Jareed as Fury in possession just inside their own half.
Well, a breakneck pace to close out the opening half here, and Maxime Crépeau once again showing why he's one of the top players in this league right now, and some fantastic goalkeeping from Crépeau here this afternoon to keep this one locked at 0-0.
Yeah, pretty even first half when you look at everything now. I mean, Ottawa certainly controlled the first half hour, but Penn FC has really come on with some great opportunities in the last quarter of an hour. And here they come again. Ball just beyond the reach of Bond from Franco, and it is sent out for a Penn FC corner. Hearing there will be a minimum of 3 minutes of stoppage time here as we're now through the 45. Fourth official comes across to confirm that. So Menivar will take this corner. Looks like he might take it short. Oh, looks like a right-footed outswinger as he delivers. Kusana to the back post, and it's fired wide from Harry Hawkins, and it'll be a goal kick as Penn FC continues to get opportunities towards the end of this first half.
Well, they've certainly found their second win here in the last 10 minutes, and that is going to be an opportunity that Hawkins is going to question himself about after this game if it doesn't go Penn's way, because that was a great redirection from Kusana right to the left boot of Hawkins, but he couldn't find the target.
So it remains 0-0 in first half stoppage time. Still a couple of minutes to go. Goes out wide, and oh wow. That, you know what?
That's
was
dedication right there.
Terrific effort by Ken Tribbett as he went to the near touch line, was able to keep it in, went over the advertising board, and he's okay. So that's typically you see that in basketball with a player trying to keep it alive. As here comes Ottawa now on the break. Adonai Jareed plays it out wide on the left. Oliveira plays it across, and it just didn't get to DeSantos in the middle as Pézère got it at the edge of the 6-yard box. Boy, the last 10 minutes or so, play has really opened up here, but it remains 0-0 here in first half stoppage time. Flag is up for offside against Penn FC.
Yeah, both teams really wanting to get something going here in the late stages and have really entertained the fans, ourselves included in that. Just a little bit more needed on that delivery from Kevin Oliveira to pick out that run from Steven DeSantos down the middle.
Here's Kusana trying to get beyond Meir Jaguar. Important touch there as he gets it to Oliveira. Over the top on the right, Tony Taylor. Can he make something out of nothing here? And no, the flag is up for offside, or was that handball?
I think it was a handball that's being called there as he cut inside. Not really much he could do. It's just the way the ball kind of awkwardly checked up on him.
All right, well, should pretty much do it for first half stoppage time. We'll wait for David Barry to blow his whistle, and there it goes. Pretty entertaining first half here at TD Place. Everything but a goal, as let's now hear from the head coach of Ottawa Fury. For Ross Video, here's Nikola Popovic. All right, we'll have to abort this mission. No coach, 0-0 at halftime. Ottawa Fury FC against Penn FC. Coming up, it's our halftime show. This is Ottawa Fury FC Soccer.
Did you know the Brick is 100% proudly Canadian? We employ over 5,000 Canadians, and nobody knows more about furnishing Canadian homes at the guaranteed lowest price than us. Saving you more. It's not just a slogan. Saving you more is our obsession.
Hey, Impreza. What's new?
Well, I've got this available reverse automatic braking feature.
Oh.
When I reverse, I can automatically brake if I'm about to hit something.
All I do is beep.
Subaru
Beep.
Impreza.
Beep. Ouch.
Gabriel Pizza, proud supporter of local sports. Gabriel Pizza, home of the bigger, better pizza. 310-7777 or GabrielPizza.com.
What do you live for? Is it for your crew? For overcoming obstacles? Live for what you want. So what do you live for?
Look at the fun they're having on the field here at halftime. Maybe they scored more goals. All those nets are pretty small, though. 0-0 at halftime between Penn FC and Ottawa Fury FC as a scorching day here in Ottawa, Ontario. Now we like to take a look. Of course, today is a game right now full of great saves from both keepers, both Crépeau and Pézère. Now we'll take a look at the saves of the week from Week 17 in the USL.
Deleuze sees the goalkeeper off again. Oh my! And a save right there by Kuzminski.
Towards the corner, it's Mabin. Mabin shot from distance. Byers with a huge save. His first test of the year.
Amico cross the shot and a save again. Header, another save. That one there with the left arm, fantastic off Innovolson. And it comes back in, and Hoyfeld gets it up in time.
Look for Starikov, still alive. Headed out in front of bicycle kick. Back at her, he can't put it in. Side, Pedro Gavel steps to the inside with the right foot, save. Great save that time by McGuire. Return shot is blocked. McGuire is over to it and keeps this game 3-2.
Max Crépeau making one of the saves of the week for Week 17 in the USL. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue our halftime show 0-0 after 45 minutes of play. This is Ottawa Fury FC Soccer.
welcome back to TD Place, our halftime 0-0 between Ottawa Fury FC and Penn FC, and Graham Ivory alongside Gordon Smith. Gord, we talked about it in the pregame show. This is the midway point for Ottawa Fury FC. It was after their last match against the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Now into the second half of the season and chasing that spot in the USL postseason. Not that far out of the top 8. Work still to be done, but we wanted to take this time during our halftime to have a look first at the standings and then kind of break some of the statistics down for Ottawa Fury FC. And you could just see how much of a logjam it really is, and how there's no opportunity for you to take a night, a week off in this league. So much parity in that Eastern Conference.
Most definitely. I mean, you look at only 4 points between 12th and 8th. Even when you go all the way to number 3, there's only 8 points between 3rd place and 12th place. So it is a massive logjam, as you said, Graham, and it's all about just picking up points left, right and centre. You need to take care of your own backyard here at home, and then if you go on the road and snatch a point here or there, that will push you up the standings. But when you look at some of the other teams that are ahead of them right now, they're all going to be looking to leapfrog over each other as well as they play head-to-head games. So it is going to be a tough ask in the second half of the season for the Fury to leapfrog so many teams, but they've just got to take care of things in their own backyard. And right now here at halftime, they've got a point, possibly going on in the second half to get 3.
Well, and having a look at kind of where they've been so far this season, 6 wins, 3 draws, 8 losses. And when you look at how close some of those losses have been, no different than last Sunday here at TD Place, that 1-0 loss to a very good Pittsburgh Riverhound side, who I think have surprised a lot of people in the USL this season, sitting second spot with just that 1 loss. But really for Ottawa, we talked about it in that first half, AJ and I, about the importance of getting their results at home. When you have this stretch of home games coming up here, today included, really have to make hay here at TD Place to get themselves back up into that standings, because coming into the start of the year, it wasn't just about saying, hey, we want to get into the playoffs. No, we want to host. We want to be in that top 4. We want to have a home game in that opening round.
I think one thing you have to remember, though, is that this USL league is a very, very strong league. There's quality players throughout every single lineup from top to bottom, no matter where you're playing, East or West Conference. You know, we have seen some wonderful plays over the course of the season. It starts and ends with Maxime Crépeau at the back for me, because if you look at some of the games where they have been able to pick up points, 1 point here, 3 points there, invariably it's been his performance that's been allowing them to keep in games. And when you look at 8 clean sheets, you know, just a little bit under half of your games that you've played, that's outstanding for a goalkeeper, and he's got to maintain that over the course of the second half.
Well, and you have to love the fact of how, you know, you looked inside those first 3 games and how many goals you've conceded and how much they've righted that ship defensively. Offense continues to be the area of concern for this side, more on a consistent basis, because when you have the ability to defend as you do, this is a side that's very calm, very composed in a close game, which is what you want, especially going into playoff soccer. You say, hey, look, if it's a 1-goal game, we feel very comfortable in this space. But they need to make sure that there's more consistency in offense, and hopefully with DeSantos returning from injury, Hebert added to the squad, that they now have that depth to take it to the next level.
And just needing that little bit of luck. We saw in that first half of the ball coming off the off the post for Adonai Jarid after the goalkeeper could only parry it towards him. That's the kind of rub of the green you're going to need over the course of the second half to make sure that you're getting 1 point instead of a loss, 3 points instead of a draw.
All right, well, grab your fluids. You're going to need it for a second half. A scorcher here at TD Place. It's 0-0 through 45 minutes. Back with second half action when we return. This is Ottawa Fury FC Soccer.
Hey, Impreza. What's new?
Well, I've got this available reverse automatic braking feature.
Oh.
When I reverse, I can automatically brake if I'm about to hit something.
All I do is beep.
Subaru Impreza.
Beep. Ouch.
What do you live for? Is it for your crew? For overcoming obstacles? Live for what you want. So what do you live for?
Did you know the Brick is 100% proudly Canadian? We employ over 5,000 Canadians, and nobody knows more about furnishing Canadian homes at the guaranteed lowest price than us. Saving you more. It's not just a slogan. Saving you more is our obsession.
Inside TD Place, AJ Jakubek, Graham Ivory with you. It's 0-0 at halftime. Ottawa Fury FC against Penn FC as we get set to look at the first half stats here. And pretty even first half, Graham, when you look at possession, when you look at shots on target and just total shots. I think 0-0 has to be a pretty fair result so far, but 45 minutes to play.
Certainly very fair, but you got to tip your hat to Maxime Crépeau, the way that he finished off that half for Ottawa, because through the first half hour, 35 minutes, Ottawa looked well in control of this game and really the only side to create any scoring opportunities. But then when Penn FC struck, Paulo Jr. with a couple of good ones, Lucky Kasana as well, Bond as well with another opportunity. Maxime Crépeau rose to the challenge to keep things 0-0, and you could see that through those 3 shots on target from the visitors this afternoon.
What do we have to see for Ottawa to generate a little bit more? I mean, they certainly look great in the first 30 minutes, but to finally get a goal again, what do they have to do to generate that?
Well, I think just a little bit more separation for Adonijah Reed, because he's had some good opportunities, but he's running into 2 and 3 bodies, and he just, whether he needs another option or he needs to receive that ball in a bit more space, get a bit more momentum going when he's going into those 1v1, 1v2 battles, because we've seen how dangerous he can be for Ottawa this season. For Kevin Oliveira, again, he's created so much for Ottawa again here this afternoon. But the biggest challenge for him is just a bit more pace on the service, especially inside the penalty area. We saw that last chance in stoppage time in the first half. That delivery into Steven DeSantos just needed a little bit more pace to beat the arms of Romuald Pézère, who very aggressive in his penalty area. And we've seen him come out, punch one away on that delivery. Eddie Edward looking for Steven DeSantos. And of course, Ottawa needs the big man to get on the end of some of those balls, because offense is going to be, I don't think, something we see a lot of in terms of actually finding the back of the net for either of these two teams here this afternoon. 2 very good goalkeepers going head to head, and they have been really the difference so far through 45 minutes.
Same 11 for both sides to start the second half. You've got Pézère along with Hawkins, Tribbett, Venter and Franco, Galval, Menivar, Bond and Resend, with Paulo Jr. and Lucky Kosana up top. For Ottawa, it's Crépeau in goal, back 4 of Obasi, Mayer, Giguère, Adekora and Edward, Oliveira, Manella and Dixon in midfield, Reed, DeSantos and Taylor up top. Fury moving right to left in this second half as they kick things off with their black and red home kits, the black shorts and black socks. It's the all-white away kits for Penn FC. Moving left to right as Fury have possession. Start this second half. Mayer Giguère into the middle for Jamar Dixon. Out wide on the right for Eddie Edward. Plays this forward towards Tony Taylor. A little too much on it. It'll be a goal kick for Penn FC.
Well, these two sides last met on the 1st of May, and that was a 1-0 victory at Penn FC, and it was Colin Falvey with the late game winner for Ottawa, which was also their first victory of the season.
No Colin Falvey on the bench today for Ottawa. Their 7 available substitutes are backup keeper David Monsalve. You've got Jimmy Chamar-Sanon, Monty Mosen, Sergio Minicio, Gabriel Balbinati, Christian Portilla, and the newcomer from FC Cincinnati, Canadian international Daniel Hebert. For Penn FC, with their captain Ken Tribbett getting up slowly from the turf. Their available subs: backup keeper Sean Lewis, Haruna Shaibu, Salih Muhammad, Prince Buffon, Sean Lewis, Salvatore Barone, Jorge Rivera, and Miguel Jaime. Back underway, 47th minute, 0-0. As Venter plays it forward, it's headed away by Obasi, out of touch for a Penn FC throw. Again, really looking forward to Wednesday night's tilt. And you can hear that on TSN 1200. Ottawa Fury FC, first leg of the Canadian Championship semifinals against Toronto FC. Second straight year they face TFC. Return leg the following Wednesday at BMO Field in Toronto. Penn FC in possession, it's Venter. Now to Hawkins. Leaves it for Galvao. Wide right, Franco. Now here's Menivar. Being chased down by Manella. And good work by Manella to create that Ottawa throw as Menivar just went out of touch with it. So a Fury throw from the near touchline. 49th minute, 0-0. Looking to get things going. Ball headed back to Nana Atakura. Plays it into the Penn FC half, and it goes back to the keeper. And here's Pezer. Comes to Tribbett. Hawkins, wide left for Galvao. Hawkins. Now Tribbett. Kyle Venter, halfway line. Wide right for Franco. 25 yards out, tries a cross towards the back post, but that goes right into the waiting arms of the keeper for Ottawa, Maxime Crépeau. Made a couple of brilliant stops in that first half. Crépeau. Forward, quick turn from Oliveira, but couldn't keep possession. It comes back to Crépeau. Here's Thomas Meyer-Giguère. With space, so he dribbles to the halfway line, comes to Obasi, now to Meyer-Giguère, and back towards Crépeau. Diagonal ball on the right towards Taylor, headed out of touch for an Ottawa throw. 50 minutes gone, 0-0. Throw here from Eddie Edward. Knocked away. And a foul called against Manella. Free kick, Penn FC inside their own half.
Well, with the last 10 minutes that we saw before halftime with such a frantic pace from both sides, a much more cautious start from both Ottawa and Penn FC here to open this second half.
Obasi trying to fend off Bond. Quick little 1-2 with Meyer-Giguère, and Obasi goes down and draws a free kick inside the Ottawa half. Bond's going to get a talking to from referee David Barry.
Well, it's the third time in the game now that Obasi has broke past a player and been pulled down from behind now. Obviously earned a yellow card against Tribbett.
Why isn't that a yellow card there?
I'm honestly not sure. Well, it is because that's the first time that I think Bond has pulled back on Obasi. Number 2, just where it was in the pitch. If that's in an attacking area, much like what we saw from Tribbett, for sure the yellow card is coming out.
Either way, free kick now into the 53rd minute here at TD Place, 0-0. Crépeau will take this deep inside the Ottawa half. Up towards Steven DeSantos, flicks it on, goes into the Penn FC penalty area. And it's cleared away by Hawkins for an Ottawa throw. Comes to Tony Taylor. Gets it in for Eddie Edward. Adekora. Ahead towards Oliveira. But Hawkins wins it. And it's played out by Tribbett for another Ottawa throw. Headed here by Adekora. Knocked out a touch, and it's another Ottawa throw.
I'll say this, if not for the play of both Harry Hawkins and Ken Tribbett, it I think be a much different game for Ottawa Fury FC. Both have been very strong in defense for the visitors here this afternoon with some timely challenges.
Adekora plays it into the Penn FC half. Paulo Jr. working against Dixon, and Dixon gets the better of Paulo Jr., and he's clearly fouled from behind just inside the Penn FC half.
It was Calvin Resend who brought Dixon down, who made that dashing run through the midfield after winning the ball.
So Adekora will take this free kick just inside the Penn FC half. Looking to pick out Adonijah Reed, who chests it down, but it's knocked away from him to Oliveira. Wide left, Obasi. Looking to get it forward to Reed, but broken up. And here comes Penn FC on the counter. It's Lucky Kosana. Obasi on him. Great work by Obasi, but Penn FC maintains possession. Resend wins a throw. Gets it in quickly. And this is going to go out off Manella for a Penn FC corner. Near corner flag. 55th minute, 0-0. So Menivar, the El Salvador international with 41 caps, with a right-footed outswinger, near corner flag, 56th minute, 0-0. Here's the delivery, headed towards goal, and it's 1-0. And it's the captain, Ken Tribbett, who gets on the end of that Menivar delivery. And off the set piece, Penn FC has the lead, 1-0.
Well, that's right off the practice pitch right there. You can tell that this is something that Penn FC does on the regular, as does Ken Tribbett. His 5th goal of the season and a powerful header from the Medjivar corner. And that one beats Maxime Crépeau. Top corner at the near post. Well, we were just talking about the game that Tribbett has had, and very sound defensively.
So 56-minute goal from Ken Tribbett. Now we've got substitution number 1 for Ottawa in the 57th minute, and it will be the Ottawa Fury FC debut of Canadian international Daniel Hebert, as he replaces Adonijah Reed up top. 7 games this year for FC Cincinnati. He's played in Cyprus in the top league, played in the top league in Israel, and 5 caps for Canada at the senior level. So looking forward to seeing what Daniel Hebert can do for Ottawa Fury up top. Here's Lucky Kosana. His ball caroms off Oliveira on wide right. Franco. Venter. Hawkins. And again in this heat, which we've talked about, that lead so important where you don't have to chase the game. And right now, Penn FC in a good spot. Lots of time left though, 58th minute. 28 degrees, 82 Fahrenheit. And it's 1-0 Penn FC. They work it across the back, Hawkins. Out of Venter. Towards Bond. Headed out by Onwo Bassi. It'll be a throw for Penn FC near touchline.
Well, it's a pretty damning statistic against Ottawa Fury FC because when they concede the first goal of the game, 1 draw, 8 losses this season. Plenty of time to find their way back, well over half hour. But work still to be done here.
Oh, good work there by Resend. Now Bond with the cross, but a little too much on it for Paulo Junior. Penn FC not resting on their laurels, up 1-0. Here's Resend. Oh, good work by Tony Taylor, and Taylor with a run. All the way into the Penn FC half. Taylor plays it out wide for Hebert. Edge of the 18. Hebert with the cross, and at the 6 it's cleared away. Comes back out. The shot from Oliveira is blocked. Now it's DeSantos. Best from Ottawa offensively in this second half, and now DeSantos called for a foul. Free kick Penn FC, but that was impressive on the break, starting with that run from Tony Taylor.
Yeah, great run from Tony Taylor from deep inside his own half, right through the midfield. And a good delivery from Hebert that was cleared away. Otherwise, DeSantos could well have been on the end of it. Ottawa certainly has attacked this game with enough pace. It's just that final touch inside the attacking third that they need to go their way.
60th minute, 1-0 Penn FC. Lucky Kosana. The ball towards Bond, sent out of touch by Obasi. Got another substitution coming up shortly. We're going to see Christian Portilla replace Chris Manella as that holding midfielder. Ball goes into the air inside the Ottawa half. Manella. Now it's Oliveira. Ahead for Tony Taylor. Taylor looking to make a run against Resend, and now a foul against Taylor. That was suspect from David Barry.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one.
Lucky Kosana, and a good important clearance there from Nana Adekora as it goes back into the Penn FC half. Played back to the keeper, and Pezer gets it away before DeSantos got to him. Ottawa throw, 61st minute here at TD Place. Ottawa Fury FC 0, Penn FC 1. Final instructions for Portilla at the touchline before he comes in for Manella. Sent back into the Ottawa half. And this goes out for a Fury throw, and here comes the second substitution. And in comes Christian Portilla. Out goes Chris Manella, so Ottawa has one available sub left. Hebert and Portilla have entered the fold. Maybe Sano for a little pace late in the match. But here's Oliveira to Hebert. Onwo Bassi pushing forward, couldn't get it beyond the goal scorer and Penn FC captain Ken Tribbett. And now it's a Penn FC throw. Headed forward by Portilla, and now here's Kosana. Couldn't get past Mayer Jaguar. And it's flicked on by Tony Taylor, who goes to ground with Rezende right in the vicinity off that Crépeau ball, and goes to his opposite number, Romuald Pézère, inside the penalty area for Penn FC, and he'll pick it up with Dos Santos now coming close. Adekora plays it back. And a free kick given against Ottawa. It's going to be a yellow card against Kevin Oliveira.
Yeah, Oliveira got Kyle Venture in a very uncomfortable.
He got him in the groin area. And not lower groin, upper groin, middle.
Yeah.
Hope he's got a good cup.
I don't think they wear cups.
No?
No.
I'm feeling for Kyle Venter right now.
I could be wrong. I really don't think so. I know of maybe a handful of guys that play with one. 4 of the 5 are goalkeepers.
Regardless, Venter's okay. 65th minute, 1-0 Penn FC. Ottawa looking to catch Penn FC on the counter. Good work from Oliveira. Gets it out wide for Dos Santos. Plays it back. Jamar Dixon now into space on the left. Here's Hebert. Hebert, edge of the 18. Comes inside the penalty area. Tries to get it onto his right foot, but 2 white shirts in his way, and Pézère comes out after it was blocked and jumps on it. But better on the break there from Ottawa. So Bassi wins a header. Now Dixon comes across. And this will go out for another Ottawa throw. Can Ottawa find a goal to revive their playoff hopes? 6 points out going into action today. Results stay the same. Penn FC would move into 7th. That would push Nashville and Charlotte into a tie for 8th on 27 points. So they'd still be 6 points out, but more teams to catch and a further deficit as Ottawa looks to catch Penn FC on the break again. Taylor out wide. Eddie Edward with the cross towards the back post. And Dos Santos goes down. Referee not calling anything. Obasi now. Hebert with the cross. Flicked on and wide from Dos Santos, who is motioning towards referee David Barry that his shirt was tugged, but no call. It's a goal kick for Penn FC, leading 1-0. 67th minute here at TD Place in front of 50, 315 on this beautiful summer July day.
Well, there was certainly contact with DeSantos, but from how we've seen the game called thus far from David Barry, there's going to have to be a lot more than that for a penalty to be awarded.
Hebert with the turn, and he wins the throw just inside the Penn FC half. Great start for Daniel Hebert off the bench.
Yeah, brings a lot of pace down that left side, and pace is never a bad thing in this game.
DeSantos trying to put it into space for Hebert, and he's fouled, so a free kick. Dangerous area. This will be left to the 18-yard box, parallel to the edge of the area. Closer to the near touchline, but 18 yards out as Ottawa pushes men into the Penn FC penalty area. 5 players in there right now. Here's the delivery on the free kick towards DeSantos' back post, but it's headed away. And nice little touch back heel from Paulo Jr. Here comes Penn FC on the counter. Kosana now to Paulo Jr. Head on the left, Resend. Out wide to Paulo Jr. and Eddie Edward clears that out for a Penn FC throw. Fury win it back, and here's Tony Taylor. Oh, great run down the right as he scampers past Tribbett. Can he find some room? And there's not a lot of support on the right side as it goes out. Now for a Penn FC throw.
Yeah, that last touch a bit too heavy from Taylor, but the pace that he's used down that right side all afternoon, he's just scorched past opposing defenders, but needs a little bit more support when making those runs as we now take a hydration break here in the 70th minute.
So 1-0 Penn FC on that 56th-minute goal from Captain Ken Tribbett. And during this water break, let's go down pitch side and hear from one Tyler McDonald. Tyler.
Thank you very much, AJ. And as the players get a nice refreshment on this very hot day, not too much going on here down pitch level. Both teams really quiet in terms of instructions going out to both teams. Really, the only thing coming from the Ottawa Fury side is to keep up the tempo in terms of putting pressure on the ball when Penn FC is in possession. Of course, it's been the same message for Penn FC as it was in the first half, and that's to stay in formation and stay fluid in terms of their movement and working together as a group, and that's what has them up 1-0 so far here in this one. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Tyler. Hope you're staying hydrated down there as well. I'm on my just about on my third water up here.
Yep. Thought about pouring one on top of you just to help keep you cool, but
you know what? A couple of weeks ago, I probably would have said that would have been a good thing.
Yeah. Well,
today it's just at that point where I feel just comfortable enough at 28 degrees, 82 Fahrenheit.
I see a patio in your future later this evening.
I think you're pushing that back a little too far.
Sorry, within the next 90 minutes.
The good thing about Lansdowne is there's no shortage of options to get a quick pint.
No.
Right after the game.
I think we have to say pop.
You can say what you want. I can say I'm going for a pint of beer after the game. I'm of legal age.
And how?
Labatt's a great sponsor of OSEG, and I might find one of the great Labatt beverages right after the game. Here's Lucky Kosana. Down the left-hand side, works his way into the Ottawa penalty area with a shot, and that's right on, not troubling the keeper, Maxime Crépeau. We've got a substitution coming up shortly for Penn FC. Salvatore Barone will replace the ex-Fury player Paulo Junior. As here's an opportunity, and it's 1-1. And Tony Taylor has equalized for Ottawa Fury in the 72nd minute.
Well, that's well-deserved for Tony Taylor, because through 72 minutes, you're looking at the hardest working player in Fury colors here this afternoon, and another powerful run from Tony Taylor. We talked about that aggressive goalkeeping from Romuald Pézère, and that time it didn't go his way. He comes well off his line. Taylor gets the first poke to the ball and pokes it over top of Romuald Pézère, and credit gotta go to Maxime Crépeau for that long boot forward, and we're tied at 1.
And nice little flick on there from Dos Santos, and the second ball hit right into the back of the net, chipped over the keeper from Tony Taylor, and we're tied 1-1. Game on.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, that's Taylor's first goal in Fury colors outside of the Canadian Championship. AJ douses himself with water here in the broadcast booth.
Why not? It's a hot day. You asked for it. Pretty sure it's Tony Taylor who scored that goal. Mike Pearson, it's okay. We all. I think we're all in agreement. That was Tony Taylor. All right, here we go. Here's Fury on the attack again. 74th minute, 1-1. Eddie Edward with a rampaging run. Gets this down the right side. Here's Tony Taylor again. Taylor near the byline and slices this out of touch as he was looking to get that ball into the penalty area for either Steven Dos Santos or Daniel Hebert. Goal kick. 75th minute, 1-1 the score.
Well, I should also mention that Barone has come into the match now in place of Paulo Junior, a native of Brooklyn, New York, another former New York Cosmos player playing for Penn FC.
The downside of me dousing myself with that water
is that you
during
wear
the break
glasses?
Is that I had to clean off my glasses. I think I can see again.
Well, it's going okay for you today, because usually those things are fogging up on you on a hot and humid day.
Check humidity. It didn't seem too bad today. See if it's under that 50%. Oh, it's 56%. Not quite in the 70s. All right, Fury in possession here. Quarter of an hour to go plus stoppage time. 1-1 the score, and you can see the reaction on the touchline after the goal from Nikola Popovic. Let's get her going. Let's get back. It's nice to get a goal, but obviously Fury wanting and needing 3 points here this afternoon. They're not going to be holding back.
Well, you could see something coming there from Ottawa just with the pace that they'd been attacking for the 5 minutes leading up to that goal. And again, you can't say enough about the running that we've seen from Tony Taylor, not just because it's a scorcher today, but doing so much work down that right side. And we've certainly given credit to the Penn FC defense. At that time, he got the better of him.
It's Oliveira with a good run down the middle, lays it off on the left. Hebert with the cross, and it's headed over the bar from Steven Dos Santos, but Ottawa more and more dangerous as this game progresses. 77th minute, 1-1 the score.
Well, and really since the introduction of Daniel Hebert down that left side, now Ottawa has a lot of pace on either side, because Hebert has made some great runs and can certainly whip in a good ball, as we just saw there on that delivery attempted for Steven DeSantos, but too much underneath it and sending that one out for the goal kick. And looking down on the Penn FC touchline, looks like we have another substitution set to come in.
Well, here's Ottawa again. It's Taylor. Now to Eddie Edward. Dixon. Into the middle, Oliveira looking to play through Steven DeSantos. It's cleared away, but Ottawa clearly the aggressor here in this 1-1 tie, looking to get all 3 points.
Well, and Penn FC so compact in the middle at the top of their 18-yard box there. And a good effort from Oliveira to try and pick out DeSantos, but the better option would have been Hebert, who was open down to his left, as Jamar Dixon now fouled, and a set piece coming here for the Fury.
Yeah, Dixon fouled near touchline, about 30 yards out. And Ottawa pushing forward in the 78th minute on this set piece. Four players inside the 18-yard box as the delivery comes. DeSantos goes down, and again, no call. Here's Taylor now with the cross. That's cleared away by Hawkins. Mayor Jaguar out wide on the left. Hebert in for Oliveira, back towards Hebert. Hebert wins it. Oh, they call a free kick. They call him for a shove. That was soft.
Well, would love to see another replay here. Well, not so much of what went on with Hebert there, but rather when DeSantos went down, as the battle between he and Ken Tribbett continue, and two big bodies going against each other, and the 6'2" Ken Tribbett and 6'4" Steven DeSantos.
Second sub coming up shortly. Jake Bond will come out and Salih Muhammad in. As we're into the 80th minute at TD Place. 1-1 the score. Fury desperate for 3 points. A point wouldn't hurt either. It's not do or die time yet with 16 matches after this one, as Tony Taylor down the right again, plays it into the middle. Oliveira now to DeSantos, goes down.
Yes,
Penalty!
well, had to get it there.
Steven DeSantos tripped up 10 yards from goal, and Ottawa's going to have a chance to take the lead from the spot. 80th minute. This foul given against Penn FC.
Well, the resilience of Steven DeSantos continues there, and really wanted that ball, shouting for the delivery from Tony Taylor, who cut it back to the top of the penalty area for Oliveira, and then brought down from behind by, again, Ken Tribbett.
So it will be Steven DeSantos from the spot. 81st minute penalty. DeSantos steps up and puts it home. Steven DeSantos, 81st minute penalty. Ottawa Fury FC have turned this match on its head. Fury FC 2, Penn FC 1.
First goal in a while for Steven DeSantos, but his fourth of the season, and you can see the emotion on his face, how excited he is, as this resilient bunch has really pushed hard here since going down in the second half early, and he beats the veteran keeper Romuald Pezer, bottom left. A calm finish from Steven DeSantos. And now all to be played for here in the final 9 minutes plus stoppage time. And it looks as though Jimmy Chamar-Sano will be the third and final sub, adding a bit more pace to Ottawa's attack to try and close this one out.
So The string of matches where they concede the first goal and lose or draw could be coming to an end. 8 losses and a draw, as you mentioned earlier, in the 9 matches where they've conceded first. But they've erased a deficit, taken the lead, and not putting their foot off the gas yet, as they've earned a corner here in the 82nd minute. Oliveira will take it. It'll be a right-footed in-swinger near corner flag. Five players inside the 18-yard box towards the back post, and just a little too much on that. It'll be a Penn FC throw. It's been a fascinating match here today. All sorts of ebbs and flows. Ottawa with the better of the play in the first 30 minutes. Penn FC started to take the initiative in the last quarter of an hour of the first half. Carried that into the second half, and ever since conceding and bringing on Daniel Hebert, this match has turned on its head. And here's Ottawa attacking again through Tony Taylor, just outside the 18-yard box. Back to Dixon, now to Eddie Edward. Jamar Dixon. Christian Portilla. Back to Mayer Jaguar. Third and final sub will be Jimmy Shamar Sanon, replacing Steven DeSantos, the goal scorer, from the spot to give Ottawa the lead. So that will be the final sub for Ottawa coming up, as Sanon is waiting at the touchline, and we've got the final sub up for Penn FC as well, and it's going to be Prince Buffo coming on. Free kick, Ottawa Fury, as Eddie Edward is fouled by Tribbett. So here come the two subs. Sanon on for DeSantos, and Calvin Resend will be replaced by Prince Buffo, the Ghanaian.
Well, a good game and a good return for Steven DeSantos, who has positioned Ottawa to claim all 3 points here this afternoon. And we talked about it in the opening of the show. Very important to have DeSantos not just back in the lineup, but back on the score sheet, and did what they expect of him here this afternoon. And it was a well-deserved penalty, because that battle with he and Ken Tribbett has been going on all afternoon. And you saw a lot more of it here in the second half. And that one was a clear-cut penalty, no question about it. And DeSantos made no mistake with the finish.
Taylor down the right. He got things going for Ottawa with that goal that was flicked on by DeSantos. Adekora over the top, headed back to the keeper, Pézère. Let's go down now, pitch side, and let's hear from Tyler McDonald.
Thank you very much, AJ, and some last-minute instructions for both these clubs. For Ottawa Fury FC, it's, well, to keep the pace here and to keep working on this. As for Penn FC as well, going to be to work hard and try to pressure, do exactly what Ottawa Fury was doing to them. Pressure the back four of Fury FC. Try to cause those turnovers when they can. Back to you guys.
Ball on the left side now for Barone. Byline. Plays it into the middle. Headed to Adekora. He looked like he was fouled by Kasana, and yeah, it's a little late from David Barry, but Adekora gets the call. It'll be a free kick for Ottawa Fury. 87th minute here at TD Place. 5,315 in attendance. Ottawa Fury FC 2, Penn FC 1. It's been a fun afternoon here at TD Place.
Well, 3 points this afternoon would pull Ottawa to within a point of Penn FC. and 3 points of the 8th and final playoff spot, or even 7th and 8th, if you will, with Nashville and Charlotte both tied on 27 points, but also would put Ottawa ahead of the Tampa Bay Rowdies and Bethlehem Steel. Bethlehem being the former team of Ken Tribbett, and the Rowdies the former team of first-year head coach Raoul Voss, who's been a long-time assistant with the Rowdies, who, despite the lineup that the Rowdies have, continue to struggle here in this USL season, and have already had a head coaching change there in Florida.
87th minute yellow card against Tony Taylor here. Here's a strike from Buffon, and on the half volley, it's taken by Crépeau, and let's not forget about how brilliant he was in the first half. Hasn't really been tested much in the second half. Had no chance on that powerful, thundering header from Ken Tribbett that put Penn FC in the lead on a corner, but he made some brilliant stops in the first half to ensure Penn FC was not on the board, and Ottawa Fury has taken it from there as it will be Buffon again. Plays this into the middle for Tribbett, just outside the 18. Now a shot, and that stopped from distance. Menivar gave it a go, and it's parried over for a corner. Nice save. Again, it was right at him, but still good reflexes by the keeper, Maxime Crépeau.
Yeah, and now you see Tribbett pushed up in that attacking role as well. Lays it off nicely in a powerful drive, but it was right down the middle, right at Crépeau, but still had to be quick on the reaction time to punch that up and over.
And now off the corner, he's able to come off his line, take it right at the edge of the 6, and 89th minute, Ottawa Fury FC 2, Penn FC 1. That's the first real danger Fury have been in since they took the lead in the 81st minute through Steven DeSantos. Here's Hebert now. Wins the throw. 4 minutes of stoppage time. Is that with the substitutions and the water break?
Yeah, I think that's certainly a fair number. I'd be surprised if it's anything less than that. Which puts us from about this point, about 5 minutes still to go in this one.
We'll wait and see what we hear from the fourth official. I would think minimum of 4. As we're into the 90th minute and Penn FC win a throw. Franco. Sent forward towards Barone. Comes to Buffon. Now Galvao plays it. We're getting minimum of 5 minutes. Maybe it was a 2-minute water break, which would make sense. So Ottawa still with a lot of work to be done here with the 2-1 lead, and good work from Eddie Edward to win a throw here, as we will get confirmation from the fourth official. Five minutes of stoppage time to be played, a minimum of 5 minutes. Played out by Eddie Edward for another Penn FC throw. Oh, great work. Jamar Dixon wins it, just launches it back into the Penn FC half, as Penn FC desperate to get a late equalizer after giving up their 1-0 advantage. Sent high into the air, flicked on. Mayor Jaguar comes across, but the shot on target, and it stopped here. It's chested down off that Baroni shot from Maxime Crépeau, and dangerous work there from Penn FC as they look to earn a late point.
Yeah, that could have been a dangerous clearance, but didn't get much on it, and Crépeau quick on his feet to return to position to collect that one. And Gordon and I talked about it at halftime, about the number of close games that Ottawa's been in, and just how they've established their defensive game and comfortable, allowing them to be comfortable in playing in these close types of matches. So we have a look at the Fury newcomer, Daniel Hebert, who I think has to be very pleased with what he's contributed in his Fury debut here this afternoon.
Played on here, and here's Oliveira in on goal. Oliveira just put it wide. That would have been the finishing touches on 3 points here, as Kevin Oliveira just couldn't hit the target. Still about 3 minutes of stoppage time to be played.
Great ball in from Tony Taylor, and Oliveira just couldn't get his boot around the ball to find the target, with Romuald Pézère coming charging off his line to try and cut down the angle.
Flicked on towards Cassano, and that's great work from Eddie Edward to clear it, and he draws a foul as well. Extra time always feels like it takes that much longer when you've got the lead, and still a couple of minutes of stoppage time to be played here.
Well, I'm sure that's a sentiment that Nikola Popovic can share with you right now, just wanting to hear that final whistle. He knows the value in claiming all 3 points here this afternoon for his side. And this would be a huge confidence booster going into Wednesday evening's Canadian Championship semifinal first leg against Toronto FC.
Here comes Penn FC again as Cassano gets it out wide on the left. Now it's Buffon getting the ball from Barone. Buffon with the cross into the 18-yard box, and out comes Crépeau as he goes flying through the air about 10 yards off his line to grab that ball with 3 Penn FC players in the vicinity, including the man who scored the goal, and Ken Tribbett, who was got the worst of that going on the bottom of Crépeau when he was done with it. Now we've got about a minute left of stoppage time, and Ottawa Fury leading 2-1 as they get it back into the Penn FC half, and the visitors with a throw deep inside their own half.
Well, that's a confident goalkeeper right there, and Maxime Crépeau coming out like that, charging over top of everybody and collecting that ball at all costs over Ken Tribbett, who was looking to get on the end of that delivery.
Free kick just inside the Ottawa half. We're into the last minute of stoppage time here, so not much time left for Penn FC to get the equalizer. Here's the free kick taken towards the back post, and once again, it's Crépeau off his line, this time about 12 yards out to grab that Menivar ball, and that might be the last chance for Penn FC. Just seconds remaining as it's flicked on. Adekoro will play it back into the Penn FC half. Sano will get to it. Just wants to hold it. Now he cuts inside one defender. Sano lays it off. Portilla the shot, it's blocked. Dixon. And there's the final whistle, and a huge 3 points here today for Ottawa Fury FC. The playoff hopes still alive as Ottawa Fury win this one 2-1 over Penn FC. They're 3 points out of a playoff spot. Goals in the 72nd minute from Tony Taylor and 81st minute from the spot. Steven DeSantos countering that goal from Ken Tribbett, and Ottawa Fury FC back in business after a 2-1 win here today.
Yes, they are, and exercising a demon in the process. The first time this season they've conceded first and come from behind. A massive 3 points, and this could be a game-changing result in the course of their season, and a great way to start the second half of their USL campaign.
Back with more in a moment. Final score, Ottawa Fury FC 2, Penn FC 1. This is Ottawa Fury FC Soccer.
Gabriel Pizza, proud supporter of local sports. Gabriel Pizza, home of the bigger, better pizza. 310-7777 or GabrielPizza.com.
Did you know the Brick is 100% proudly Canadian? We employ over 5,000 Canadians, and nobody knows more about furnishing Canadian homes at the guaranteed lowest price than us. Saving you more. It's not just a slogan. Saving you more is our obsession.
What do you live for? Is it for your crew? For overcoming obstacles? Live for what you want. So what do you live for?
Inside TD Place, entertaining match here this afternoon. Ottawa Fury FC 2-1 winners over Penn FC, getting goals from Tony Taylor and Steven DeSantos in the 72nd and 81st minute after a 56-minute goal from Ken Tribbett. Huge win here for Ottawa. I don't think you can say that enough. They weren't going to be done if they lost here today, but boy, a big difference. 3 points out of a playoff spot now. I mean, you look at the difference. Penn FC, they would have been ahead of the two teams that they would be trying to catch, and they'd be 7 back of Penn FC. Now you're 1 back of Penn FC, and they sit 9th. So you can't say this enough. This is a huge 3 points for Ottawa.
No question. It's a massive 3 points in terms of their overall goal of getting into the postseason. It's a massive 3 points because of this homestand that they having up to give them that confidence, and then also heading into Wednesday's game against Toronto FC, because you don't want a loss here kind of weighing on you going into another important match in terms of another goal you have this year and getting to the Canadian Championship final. So job well done for Ottawa Fury FC, and that was a vital 3 points and a great way to start the second half of this USL season.
All right, man of the match today. It's the man who scores the opening goal for Ottawa, Tony Taylor, the Panama international.
Yeah, and that was a clutch equalizer when he found it, beating the aggressive keeper and Romuald Pereira to the ball, poking it over top of him to pull this game level. But his work ethic, that started from the opening minute of this match. The runs that Tony Taylor made down that right side, through the middle of the pitch. He earned every opportunity that Ottawa was given here this afternoon, as we see the goal here, poking it past the defender and over top of Romuald Pereira. That put this game level, and that's the reason why Ottawa was able to finish it out, claim all 3 points this afternoon. Job well done from Tony Taylor, who, when he scored that first goal in Fury colors in the first leg of the preliminary round of the Canadian Championship, that lit a fire under this player, and he's been favored in Nikola Popovic's starting 11 ever since.
All right, Graham Ivory and Gordon Smith will have more in our Facebook Live Fury FC post-match show. We'll hear from our man of the match. We'll hear from Nikola Popovic as well. Our next match comes to you on Wednesday on the radio side. That'll be on TSN 1200. Ottawa Fury FC taking on Toronto FC, Canadian Championship semifinal. 7:30 start. We'll have the pregame show at 7 o'clock. And then July 21st, Ottawa Fury FC hosting Nashville. Then they host Louisville and Tampa Bay after that. Toronto will be in the fold after the Nashville game on the 24th. So another big stretch of games for Ottawa starting Wednesday night against TFC. We'll see if Ottawa can pull a third straight home victory against MLS opposition in this competition, beating Vancouver 2-0 2 years ago, beating Toronto FC 2-1 last year, and hopefully a good crowd is on hand for that one as well, Graham.
Yeah, well, Mother Nature doing us a favor with this glorious summer we've had to date. So certainly want to have a good home crowd behind them to stick it to their MLS opposition on Wednesday night.
On behalf of our entire crew, Mike Sutherland, our producer, our fantastic crew here, Tyler McDonald, Gordon Smith, Graham Ivory, I'm AJ Jakubek. Final score this afternoon. Ottawa Fury FC 2, Penn FC 1. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Have yourself a great weekend.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.